So thank you for joining Sprinkles Parents. I'm Brooke Shapiro. If you aren't familiar with Sprinkles Parents, we provide education, events, and resources to help Bay Area parents thrive. So thank you so much for our special guest today, who's going to be teaching us all about positive discipline to help us with our kids as they get older. Since last night I had this realization of like, I don't know how to discipline my child. Like, no one taught me how to do it. I never know if I'm doing too harsh, too lenient, setting the right boundary. So felt it was really great for us to learn together some tips and tricks of positive discipline. So I'm going to hand it over to our expert speaker.
Thank you, Brooke. I'm so excited to be here today and sharing what I've learned about positive discipline. Before I begin, I just want to say all of us are learning, all of us are parents. There is no right or wrong way to parent, and we're just trying our best, right? So as long as we do that, we are all good. All right. So before I start telling about myself, I'm just going to take a quick minute. And if you can see this parenting bingo, I want you to just circle the things that you have experienced in your life, or you can put it in the chat.
Yeah, so everyone feel free to put your camera on too if you like, as we want to make this really interactive and have us, we're going to be acting out some really fun games and make it less of a lecture hall and more of a way that we can connect together.
That's right. All right. Can you, do you know how to like annotate on the screen? I can show you. So if you go up where you see I'm sharing my screen, and there are a lot of options there, you can find the one to annotate.
I don't know. I think I'm not able to figure out how to edit it, but oh, look at that.
Well, I was very happy when I got to do that.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm going to put all mine in the chat.
Yes.
Because I have a lot of the sounded like my parents thing that echoes in my, oh, you have to be on a computer to do it, I think.
Oh,
I see. Maybe on their phone.
All right. Anyways, it's okay. Would you guys mind just quickly telling me your name and how old your kids are? Just, and also if I can see your face, that would be really great.
I can go first. Or is anyone off mute? I can go first. So I have a 3-year-old and a 1.5-year-old that's about to start walking. So lots of no's, don't do that. Don't stick your fingers there. And all of that is what I say every day.
Yeah.
Should I do popcorn? Annika, do you want to go next? I hope I said your name correctly. Okay. Does anyone else want to take a turn?
I'm Alexandra. You don't want me to turn my camera on right now. I have a 6-month-old, so I don't know, how much I'll be able to provide examples for today. I'm just learning for the future. Right now, there's a lot of scratching and pulling of the hair, but I don't think I can really discipline him on that yet. So.
That's fun. Yeah, that's a fun age. And yeah, you're going to learn a lot today. Positive discipline is not only for the kids, you can apply it with your other relationships as well. So you're in the right space.
Oh, excellent. I didn't know I'd get to positively discipline the husband.
Oh, yes. Kids are easy though. I've tried. All right. Let me tell you.
Hi, so sorry, this is Annika. For some reason, I couldn't put myself off of mute. So I understand we're just doing some basic introductions.
Yes.
Awesome. So yeah, Annika, and I have just turned 2-year-old. Was there more? Sorry, missed the beginning part.
No, we were just talking about any like discipline issues you have, or we had a bingo game up of things we may have said. or you may have had happen, like taking a bath or have you given yourself a haircut. But if you're not able to see, that's totally you.
Yeah, no, none of those, but we've definitely had just a lot of not listening. You know, she's very strong-willed and wants to do what she wants to do no matter what, which I'm sure will serve her well in the future. It does not help with parenting.
Completely understand. Thanks for the intro.
All right, a little bit about myself. I am a proud mama of my 3-year-old daughter, Maya. And just like you said, she's strong-willed, and I see, yes, it's going to serve you well when you grow up, but it's so hard right now, but it's okay. I have my master's in childhood and youth studies and over a decade of experience in early childhood education. I've worked with a startup in India where I would help them set up preschool centers, train teachers, and I would develop a curriculum for them. When I moved to the States, I worked as a teacher previously in Bright Horizon and then at Harker Preschool for last 5 years. And currently I've founded a company called The First Pebble, and I do educational consulting through it. I help parents choose preschools and daycare centers, and I'm also conducting workshops on various topics. Positive discipline is just one of them, but I believe in learning through play. So I have workshops coming on that topic. It's really nice to be here today, and let's see what are the goals for today's workshop. So we're of course going to talk about what is positive discipline. We're going to talk about where we are today and where do we want our children to be in future. We're going to talk about 5 criteria of positive discipline and explore one positive discipline tool today. And then we'll talk a little bit about why do children have meltdowns or throw tantrums and how can we help them. So that's one is very important for all of us. And then if you want to learn more about positive discipline or any of the workshops that I conduct, I'll tell you where to find me. But before we begin, let's see how most of us are guilty of disciplining our children currently. And I have done this too. So I totally get it. So how do we discipline our children? We politely ask them to stop. If not, we yell louder, our voice just raise. We repeat ourselves 74, no, I'll say 1,000 times. And if we are ending our day on a good note, we might have a drink or not. So hopefully after today's session, that might change a little bit. That is my hope. But first, let's understand the difference between discipline and punishment, right? So nowadays, the word discipline is synonymous with punishment somewhat and like shaping behavior, which confuses the parents on how to raise their kids, right? Discipline comes from the Latin word disciplina, which means actually to give instructions or to teach, right? So discipline is to be a student. So when you say you want to discipline your child, you want to take a role of teaching or guiding, having compassion for your child and understanding them, right? It involves thinking, learning, taking responsibility, encouragement. But punishment, it involves gaining control over your child by making them follow rules, by punishing the undesired behavior, right? And none of us want to do that. So first, I want to know what are the challenges you're facing with your children right now, and you can put it in the chat, or you can just unmute yourself. I'm going to write them down over here. So, and Brooke, can you help me if there are any in the chat?
Yeah, definitely. I actually wrote mine in the chat. My son is biting and hitting. Got some nice notes from my teachers yesterday about that. So embarrassing.
Biting and
hitting.
hitting. Okay.
Oh, good, Pavi. I'm not the only one. I'm so sorry you're going through that too. Oh, throwing things.
Okay.
So, yeah. My daughter and is throwing stuff at my son. She's 18 months. She like chucked a truck at his head.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, throwing things is tough. Anyone else have anything? Any tantrums out there? Oh, meltdowns. Yes.
That's a good one.
Oh,
Tantrums, running away.
ooh, running away. Yes.
That's a good one. Yes.
Oh, delighted being mischievous. You know that look where they're like, oh, I am excited. Like, let me keep running away from you. Let me keep doing this bad thing.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. And yeah, any more? Whining.
ooh, fussing, whining, a lot of that too.
Yeah. Not listening.
Oh, looking straight in their eyes as they do things not told to do. Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, that's right. Right. All right. And there are more. I'm sure there are more if we really think about it. But now I just want you guys to imagine that your child is 25 years old, has knocked on the door, and you've opened the door, and what do you want to see your child? What characteristics or life skills do you want to see in your child? Or what kind of person do you hope to see in front of you? Maybe let me start. Maybe compassion, respectfulness.
Or even like just saying hi and being friendly.
Yeah, that's right. Any other skills you would want to see in your child when they're 25?
I don't know if it's a skill, but wanting to be around like people and like social skills and like, being confident in themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, someone else put confidence. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a huge one.
Can you say that again?
Oh, I just said, yeah, that's a huge one.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So this is a list of the challenges now and the future characteristics that like people have brainstormed in many of the classes, and I can see, I mean, there are some that we jotted down and there are more, right? They're always similar, and all of us agree that we want to see these characteristics in our children in future, right? So many parents don't realize that discipline methods they use do not help them to accomplish what they really want for their children. We focus sometimes on now, like how to stop this behavior now, right? But the first step in learning to be the best and not the perfect, but the best parent is to create a roadmap to guide your destination. So now we know we want our kids to have all these characteristics and life skills. So now the way we respond to our kids is going to change, right? So let's talk about positive discipline. Now, positive discipline is a model based on Adlerian psychology, and it was developed by Dr. Jane Nelson. She's the author of the book Positive Discipline. Now, discipline, like we all know, means to teach, and through discipline, your child learns self-control. Now, positive discipline means you show respect, listen, reward good behavior, remind your children that you love them when you teach them what is right from wrong. And for the discipline to be called positive discipline, you have to fulfill these 5 criteria. So let's look at them one by one. The first one is to help children feel a sense of belonging and connection, right? So by using positive discipline in your personal relationship, you are helping them to feel a sense of belonging and significance. This helps them to do better. And who doesn't want to feel purposeful, or who doesn't want to feel belonged, right? Second, it is mutually encouraging and respectful. That is, it is kind and firm at the same time. This is a very interesting concept, like kind and firm at the same time. Very important. So when we use kindness, we show our children that we respect them. And when we are firm, we are able to demonstrate to our children that we respect ourselves and we are handling the situation and our boundaries well. Now, when I'm upset with my child, it can be really hard to manage my emotions, right? We sometimes just yell back or say that, which is not kind, or it's not even firm. But by taking a step back, by calming ourselves down, removing ourselves from the current situation, will be able to respond to our child in a kind and encouraging way. The third one is, it is effective long term. So consider what the child is thinking, feeling, learning, and deciding about themselves. And what do you want to do what do you want them to be in the future, right? So is punishment going to teach them the skills that they will be they will use them can use them in the future? No, punishment, it's mostly works great in the short term because it stops the misbehavior right now. Like it'll stop the misbehavior right now, and they will want to like listen to you in the moment, but that's not going to help them in the long term. Now, positive discipline, we are teaching our kids how we want them to behave, right? By encouraging them, asking questions, being respectful, and encouraging their interactions with others. Now, it teaches important social and life skills. So they learn to respect each other, have concern, have empathy, cooperate with their community around them. Invites children to discover how capable they are. Encourages the constructive use of personal power and autonomy, right? Now think about, what do you want from your children? Like, we have made a list. I know our goal is for them to be capable, contributing members of the society. So when we practice positive discipline with our children, they can practice, we are modeling them how to behave with the relationships in their community. So they become capable. Now, punishment does not meet any of these 5 criterias, and positive discipline tools and every method taught through positive discipline does. So, if you want to think about the methods that you're using to discipline your child are positive or not, just think about, is it kind and firm? Is it making a connect? Am I making a connection with my child? Is it effective long term? Is it teaching important social and life skills? And is that making my child capable? Now, how many of you have ever complained that children don't listen, or heard other parents voice this complaint? Can you?
I complain about this all the time. And then, I was just thinking to myself, all the threats I use or implications I use if that happens. I don't know if anyone else does that.
Yeah.
But all the time, I feel like my kids do not listen on purpose, which I think is the frustrating part. Like someone else said, they look you in the eyes and do whatever.
Yeah, that's right. And I mean, I have been through this too. Like, I know there are tools and I'm practicing them every day, but all of us are humans and all our kids are humans and all of us face this. So I don't want anyone to feel we are all in this together. So, well, but what I've noticed is that many parents, sometimes we don't model good listening. Like, right? Instead, what we do, we talk a lot. We tell children what happened, what caused it, what they should do, and think, and they look something. I mean, they look at us and we are all just going. Now, if someone is doing this in front of you, with this noise, will you be in a mindset to listen to actually what that parent is saying, right? So let's do an activity first. I want 2 volunteers to be parents and 1 volunteer to be a child. So is there anyone in the group wanting to do this with us?
Are most folks on their phone maybe and have little ones with them?
Okay. All right. So, Brooke, here's what we're gonna do. You will be the child, and I'll be the parent. Okay.
Okay.
So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be a parent A first, and then I'm gonna be a parent B first. So, just you have to listen to what I'm saying and notice what you're thinking, feeling, and deciding as you hear what I say. All right,
Yep. Let's go.
let's go. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Action. Brooke, go brush your teeth or you will have mouth full of cavities. Brooke, don't forget your coat. Go to bed now. Do your homework. Stop fighting with your brother. Put your dishes in the dishwasher. Hurry up and get dressed or miss the bus. Brooke, stop whining. You are driving me crazy. Pick up your toys or I will give them to children who don't have any. Okay. Take it all in.
Yeah.
Take it all in. Now, I'm going to be a parent B. Okay. Are you ready?
Yep.
Action. What do you need to do so your teeth feel clean and squeaky? Okay, Brooke, what will you wear so you will be warm outside? What is the next on your bedtime routine chart? What is your plan for doing your homework? Brooke, how can you and your brother solve this problem? What did we decide at our family meeting to do with our dishes when we have finished eating? Where should the dishes go? Brooke, what is your plan for catching the bus on time? Okay, what words can you use so I can hear you? Brooke, what is your responsibility when you're finished playing with your toys? Okay. You heard both the parents, parent A and parent B.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me what you're thinking, feeling, and deciding as you listen to each of these parents.
Yeah. Looks like people are also commenting that it feels more engaging and more autonomy when they're giving choices. I think the first one, I felt like you're forcing me to do something. I have no will. I'm being bossed around. I'm being bullied. Like I have no control over what I'm doing. And
Yeah,
like,
I think the second one, it allows the child to feel like they're in a little bit of control when they have choices. I think that it's definitely a plus.
Yes. Yes, that's right. And after listening to that, what do you think a child is deciding to do with the parent A? Do you feel like doing what the parent is trying to tell you?
no rebelling.
Nope.
Right? And what are you deciding after listening to parent B?
Making an educated guess, I guess, just making the best decision that you think. And if it's not necessarily the right decision, like you said, what can you wear to, stay warm outside? And if they pick a tank top, obviously, it's like, okay, you tried, but let's try something out, maybe narrow it down to two different things. Like, how about this or this, or,
That's right. Yeah, and something with the cold thing, and I have experienced this with my daughter as well. There's something called as natural consequences. Like most of us dress kids how our body is feeling, but and we would have this power struggle until I took this class, and then I would let my daughter decide when she's feeling cold, and when we are at home, and I'm like, wear a jacket, and she's like, no. After the class, we stepped out of the garage to sit in the car, and she herself started saying, "It's getting cold now. I should wear my jacket." So it came from her. So there were no power struggles. Both of us got what we wanted, and she felt like she's the capable, or she's in charge of making that decision. So this activity or this tool is called curiosity questions. It is asking versus telling. Now, if we go back to the list of the qualities of our to list, which one do you think your child is learning from the parent B?
Belief and capability, I think, is really key, that they can trust themselves to make good choices versus always being told what the choices are.
Exactly.
And then that gives confidence.
Yes, exactly. Increases their self-worth. They are being respected, so they become respectful, right? Decision, they take their own decisions. What qualities do you think they are learning from parent A?
I don't know if they're learning any qualities from parent A.
Yeah.
Learning that they need to be told, like, to follow orders.
Yes.
Which I don't think, for those of us who have daughters, like, you don't want her to just like follow an order of, like, if they're a predator or something. You want to make sure that they know how to make the good decisions themselves, being taught versus being taught to listen to adults all the time and do whatever anyone says.
Exactly. And also, like, we also want that. We don't want to keep telling them things all the time, right? So they should be capable of taking right decisions for themselves, because we won't be with them everywhere. Once they start their preschool, they're on their own, right? So and parents. So as a parent, when I was giving out the instruction, I was feeling very mad. I was feeling very, why is she not listening? I was not feeling connected with my daughter, right? Or with Brooke over here. I was feeling sad. I was deciding, if she doesn't do this, what consequences should I have, right? With parent B, I felt connection. Like, I felt my body language was, you're going to listen to me, so we are in this together. There was a teamwork that was going on. So even as a parent, we are different when we are saying what we are saying, right? And for our children, when, or even for us, like, notice what happens to our body when someone just tells you or gives you commands. Your body stiffens, and the message that your brain is getting is to resist, right? And notice what happens when you're respectfully asked. Your body is relaxed, and the message that goes to your brain is, oh, let me find an answer for this question. Like, so during the process of searching, you are feeling calm, respected, and capable of taking a decision. And we want our children to be there. And sometimes it's not about, like, taking a right decision at that point, but it is just making them capable and encouraging them to do it on their own.
Yeah.
Right?
And Alexandra said, just wanted to say that it's a great point. Is like, if you act bossy, your toddlers are going to act bossy, right? Yes. If you model being collaborative and you model being calm and all that,
yes,
your toddlers can, embrace that and learn that. So thank you, Alexandra. That's a really good comment.
Yes, definitely. But with all said and done, it is hard, right? All of us will agree. I mean, when I started doing this, and to shift to a mindset that, because we have been following a certain parenting style all along, it's not possible to change that within a day. It needs a lot of practice, but it's also hard because we all have buttons, and guess who knows what they are? And when your buttons are pushed, all of us are humans. What happens? We react. We are in a fight or flight mode, right? So let's understand a little bit about what makes us do that and what makes our children do that. Now, there are a few diagrams. Don't get overwhelmed by it. It's just that take whatever you need from this diagram. Don't the labels are not important. I'm just going to explain them to you so that you understand what is happening in our brain. Okay, so this portion is is like a lizard. Okay, its job is to watch for danger. It tells us when we feel unsafe. It is also called reptile brain, right? And it's like a lizard. Like lizards are really good at doing what they need to do to feel safe. They will fight back, they will run away, or they will stay really quiet. They will do whatever it is to survive at that time, right? This part is limbic system. It generates emotions. Now, emotions supply important information that we use to make decisions. Like if you're feeling mad, if you're feeling sad, our decisions will change. Or if we are feeling happy, our decisions will change according to what we are feeling. This part of our brain is like a dog, right? Dogs feel happy, they'll feel love, they get hurt. So think about this part as a dog part. And this part where we make our decisions is where we think, we learn, is like an owl. Like all of us right now are using our owl brain. We are learning, we are making decisions. We are calm, and that's why our owl brain is in function, right? It understands, it is making sense of things, right? Okay, so this was the jargon, but let's understand it with our hands. So if everyone can put their hand up like this, like you're giving a high five, right? So this is the lizard part of the brain, right? Now move your thumb in with like you're holding number 4. So this is where the dog brain is located, right? So this is where when you're feeling something, your brain is like this. Now close, make a fist. So this is the owl part of the brain. This is in charge of thinking, learning, decision making, and problem solving. So all of us are like this. All our kids are also like this. We are moving around like this. But what happens when your buttons are pushed or when your children are throwing tantrums? Suddenly, you flip the lid, and now you're very emotional, and you're not thinking. You're thinking from here, right? You're thinking from your lizard part of the brain, and you're taking decisions for you to survive. So you're going to fight, or you're going to either run away, right? When you're an owl brain, you're calm. Yeah, blood flows to your brain, communicates in a balanced way. And when your buttons get pushed, you are not thinking right now. You're not functioning right rationally. Because, and when what happens is, if your child is like this or like this, most of the times we also come like this. And now both of us are talking with the fight or flight syndrome. So either the child is running away and you're fighting it, or your child is fighting back and you're trying to fight back, or you're just wanting to go away and the child is, coming behind you. It's also because of the mirror neurons. Like the one reason why modeling is the best teacher, because when you flip your lid, your child will flip right back. And your child flips up first, you are going to flip it too. So under stress, you're not thinking, right? So it will look something like this. Now, is this a good time to try problem solving or telling your child what to do? Are you or the child in a position to understand? No, right? So most of the times we try to solve problems when our lids are flipped or the child's lids are flipped. Even I'm guilty of doing that, right? Because you want to fight. What you can do to regain access again of your prefrontal cortex or of your owl brain? We need to do things. We need to calm ourselves down first and then calm our children down. And then you can have the connection and the conversation that you wanted. Even though it is very important to tell what you want to tell, you just have to take that time. So to do this, you have to do, there's an acronym I've come up with, SBA. You stop, you breathe, and you anchor yourself. Now, once you start going here, your child will do what they want to do, fight, flight, but eventually they will come here. And now, when both of you are calm, you will be able to respectfully and kindly and firmly be able to talk to the child, right? It is very important to think, how are you going to calm yourself down first? So you need to have strategy ready for that. You can breathe, count to 10, take a walk, take a bath, sit with a book. And we need to teach our children it is okay to flip our lids, right? But we can calm down. Model the techniques with your children. You can, for example, there are a few things that I do with my daughter. I ask her, when you can start feeling very angry or mad, you can start blowing candles, like I'm blowing a candle, or you can blow bubbles. There's another thing you can do is shape breathing. So make shapes. For example, all of you can do it with me. Make a square. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Right? You can make different shapes. You can come up creatively, whatever your children like. You can count down from 10 to 1. You can count up. Just giving brain enough time to come here. That is all we have to do. And there are so many such tools in positive discipline that can help you do this, right? Now, positive discipline is one of the few programs that deal with the belief behind the behavior and the motivating force behind the behavior, right? We have to, if we want to tackle this, we have to really understand what is happening here. And we have to make sure that we are connecting with our child to know what their belief is behind that behavior. And we can hopefully then come to a place where we are mutually connected with each other. Yeah, so positive discipline workshops and classes will teach you more tools to tackle this and accomplish what you want, to be a joyful parent. I'll be conducting in-depth class for this in May. So if you want to learn more about it, Brooke will also give you more information about it. But for today's class, if there is one thing I want you to take away from today, is to keep your lid flipped or closed when your child says open. And even if you start realizing that or understanding that now this is the time when I'm gonna be angry, this is what's gonna happen, and you calm yourself down, yeah, today's workshop was a success. So thank you guys. And if you have any questions or comments.
Yeah, does anyone have any quick questions? I know we try and keep these a half hour. Feel free to ask any. I know we tried to do it throughout. I actually have one question. One of the biggest things, and someone else may mention this too, is like timing, right? Like, I need to get out the door. Their shoes aren't this. I don't necessarily have the time to stop, take a walk, get them calmed down because I'm already running late. So I'm just like dragging a crying toddler out the door, right? So how does, any quick tips, suggestions about like how do you, do these tactics knowing we're trying to get from point A to point B?
Yeah. So the thing is, like I said, there are a lot of tools in positive discipline that you can use depending where you are and where you're with your child. But taking time to understand what is happening in the situation and what is, like I said, what is the belief behind the behavior that is happening right now? Like, why is my child behaving the way he is? And it's hard to give me a quick fix right now because I haven't really covered a lot about positive discipline, and there are answers to it. But yeah, the thing is that you need to understand what is behind this behavior and then come up with a plan. And there are a lot of different types of plan, like setting routines or talking to the child first, or there are, like I said, there are a number of things that you can use. But yeah, right now with what you have, even if you stop and say, okay, what is that my child needs right now in this situation? Because a lot of the times we know intuitively and we are just fighting that urge. So it's all about connecting with your child and getting there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. Anyone have any other questions before we wrap up?
I have a question. What if your child sort of opts to not participate in that kind of discussion? So you ask them a question and they kind of say, I don't know, or they don't answer at all.
Yeah. So again, like there are a lot of different tools. This is just one tool. Like asking versus telling is just one tool. But other tools can be, you can make it a fun game, or you can, have a routine chart. So depending on where your child is and how you are connected to your child. Like for example, when I started using this, my daughter would hate to brush her teeth, and I would go, okay, what do we do to keep our teeth clean? And she would say, nothing, right? And I'm like, okay, so this tool doesn't work. And then what I did was, next night I was like, okay, you know what? There are a lot of animals in your teeth today. Let's bring them out. So which animal do you think is there in your mouth? Then she was like, oh, I know, elephant. And then I started brushing, and then we came up with all the animals there are that in her mouth, and we got them out. And then at the end, there were a lot of fishes. So we had to gargle and bring the fishes out. So, and she enjoyed this game a lot. And then she wanted to do that again tomorrow. So she waited, like, when are we going to get all the animals out of my mouth? So you try different things. There's no one formula or one fix for, because all of us are different and all our children are unique too. So you need to really keep trying different things to get where you are, where you want to be.
Thank
Awesome
you.
question. Anyone else have anything before we wrap up? Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us. We really appreciate all the information you provided. As you mentioned, I'm going to be sending out an email with your contact information so folks can reach out if they have further questions or want to attend the class. Thank you guys all for joining today. The next session we have is about how to afford buying a house in the Bay Area, tips and tricks. So if anyone wants to sign up and join that, and then intimacy for busy couples through Sprinkles Parents. Hope to organize a live event soon so we can all meet in person and connect with each other. But thank you guys so much again for joining today. Have a wonderful day. Hope this works out. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.